Welcome to the 4-H FFA Beef Show at the 2024 Lancaster County Super Fair. It is still about 8 more minutes until the show.
First call, market heifer. First call, market heifer. Again, we are starting the beef show promptly at 9 o'clock. Second call, market heifer. Second call, market heifer. Final call, market heifer. Final call, market heifer. Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the 2024 Lancaster County Super Fair Beef Show. For those of us that are maybe thinking of some family and friends at home that are not able to join us here today, we do have a live stream that Vicki is using YouTube for. There's a QR code over here by the live stream stand that you can share with family and friends if they would like to watch the beef show today. We'll be starting here in just a couple of moments with our market heifer class, and we'll go ahead and do a first call for market steer class 1. First call, market steer class 1. Second call, market steer class 1. Second call, market steer class 1.
Well, good morning, everybody. I appreciate the opportunity to be back here this year. I really enjoyed this show last summer, so I'm looking forward to it again this year. We kicked off with this young man's market heifer. I told him we must have scared everybody else out of the market heifer class with this heifer. One that when I get behind her and study her, there's really some shape and some mass to her, a lot of width down her top. Frame-wise, this is a heifer that I think is going to finish a little quicker. It just doesn't have maybe the frame to go on to a higher finish weight. She's pretty close right now at 11, so really solid female. Balances up pretty nice, but got some power to her. That's what I like about her here in this class.
Congratulations to Kyler Kluge, our champion market heifer. Next in the ring, we're going to have our market steer class 1. We'll go ahead and do a first and second call for market steer class 2. First and second call, market steer class 2. Final call, market steer class 2. Final call, market steer class 2.
Pair of purebred shorthorn steers that are actually both belong to the young man here. The roan to my right is going to be our class winner. And for me, that's just because it's this look right here. When you study these two calves from a profile, he's just a neater looking show steer. Now, my wife would tell me, said, you'd love to feed a pen of calves that look like the one behind. And she's right, I absolutely would. But in this scenario, I think this roan steer, from his eye appeal and natural width, when you get behind him, he just kind of gravitates to the top of this class for me. Now, I don't think either steer is ideal in his hind leg when we ask him to get out and go, but I think this steer just has the other intangibles as far as eye appeal and a little stouter when you get behind him to elevate him over our mostly red steer here in second. Deep-sided, easy-doing kind of steer, like I said, one that would love to feed a pen full of him, just not quite as powerful from behind, and just a tick plainer in the way he's put together. The steer probably a little more extended up front, a little stronger in his top line. The nice pair of steers that the young man's brought us here in the first class of market steer.
Entering the ring next is our market steer class 2. Our purples from class 1 will stay nearby because they'll come back in with our purples from class 2 for our overall market steer.
just a couple steers here in this class, but the young man's solid red steer is going to be our class winner. He told me this is a composite red Angus calf, and he's an interesting critter when you learn that about him from a breed type perspective. To put together this kind of eye appeal with some natural rib shape, and this is a steer, when I study behind him, the width at his pins and of his quarter is impressive for knowing what he is. When you study him from this angle, does it look like he may run out of gas in his lower quarter? I think you could make that argument, but to me, he just puts together so many other pieces that are solid and high quality that makes him a logical steer to lead this class off with. Our young man's colored up steer here in second, another really good, solid feeding kind of steer. I like the length of body. I think this is a steer that has got some frame to him that, you know, in today's modern beef industry, if you think of him as a market animal, he can handle a little more weight, and that's not a bad thing at all, the way things have been going. Just a solid steer. I like to power him up and make him a little neater in his build compared to that class winner. But two good steers here in our second class.
Next to the ring, we're going to have our Market Steer Championship drive. So our purples from class 1 and 2 will be entering here momentarily. After that, we'll invite back our champion muscle heifer to be with our champion market steer for our supreme market beef drive. First, we're going to figure out who our market steer is.
There are not very many steers here in the market steer show, but I think the handful that we got are a quality set. So I applaud you guys for getting out these steers. I mean, this is not an easy thing to do. I mean, you're trying to take an animal whose ultimate goal and purpose is to go into our food supply and turn them into a showcase. And sometimes that's just a challenge. They don't want to do the things you need them to do. And I think these steers have come along well, and I appreciate the hard work you guys have put into them. I'm going to talk a little bit about these two class winners, just some differences in them as far as what I see in the two steers as we look for a champion. Our purebred shorthorn that won the lighter weight class is one that when you get behind this steer is when you probably appreciate him the most. A steer that as far as width of top and muscle down his top line is the widest of the steers we have here in contention. I think for me the question is where I pause a little bit with this calf is he going to be sound enough to get to a heavier finish weight? I think at 7 class his hind leg's not ideal, and as I study him further when he comes back here in comparison to our other steers, I still feel that way. But if this steer's in the 12 weights right now, does he have what he needs to continue to perform and hold up for what would be a more ideal finish weight a little heavier down the road? And that's my concern with him, but certainly a thick, powerfully made steer. Our young man's got a composite red Angus that he told me weighed about 14 and a quarter, and just yesterday, my wife and I were looking at some kill data on some commercial steers that we have, and as far as weight-wise and fitting in with the specs of where things were going, he hits that. He's absolutely at the right weight, but he also brings some of those show ring extras. You know, we raise a good bit of commercial cattle, but I'm as competitive as anybody, and if I have to feed them, I want them to look good too. And this guy, he certainly does that. I like the eye appeal he has, just the bold rib shape about him. This is one, I think, his pin width and width of quarter is impressive. Maybe not quite as stout down his top as that shorthorn steer, but he has gotten here to an appropriate weight and has done so while still holding himself together. I think he just ties the most pieces together to be a logical place to be our champion steer. We look at reserve. I think our gentleman here in the front, I think you have all three options. So you're going to be happy either way. We'll go ahead and use this roan steer as our reserve.
Congratulations to Camden Fugi, your champion market steer, and Connor Pates with your reserve champion. Camden will be coming back to his champion market steer to be with the champion market heifer to figure out who our supreme market beef animal is at this year's beef show. We'll also do a first and second call for Lancaster County born and raised market. First and second call, Lancaster born and raised market. If this fits you and you're not in the program, go ahead and bring them to the ring anyway.
Well, we didn't do it a minute ago in our steer drive because I knew we had a champion market coming up. But those of you ringside, if you would, please give our market exhibitors a nice round of applause for a job well done. Like I said, we didn't have very many, but I think we've got some that are quality cattle. I just talked about the steer, but I think it's only fair to give the market heifer a little due diligence back out here. The young man told me she weighs in at about 1,100, and I'd say she's going to be one that's probably close to finish at that 1,100. She's a little more moderate in her time. But as far as just sheer mass and power, she absolutely has that. She's given a lot of you guys over here that view that you can appreciate the most about this heifer. When you get behind her, just the width of pin. Does she come together and balance up quite as nicely as I would hope? Not for me. I think she could come together in a tad more eye-appealing package. But I think this is one that she's a solid market heifer. She's done her job in this. She's gotten to the point she needs to get to. But as we look at for an overall champion market, I think there's give and take between these two. The heifer has a stoutness advantage. The steer has an eye appeal and soundness advantage. But I'm going to show you which one of these that I prefer in today, and fit for today, for me. And so if you would give them another nice hand, I'll show you the champion.
Congratulations to Canyon Boogie with his champion market steer for our supreme overall market beef animal. Next in the ring, we have our Lancaster County born and raised market. And after this one, we want to showmanship. So we'll go ahead and do a first and second call for senior showmanship. First and second call, senior beef showmanship. Final call, senior beef showmanship. Final call, senior beef showmanship.
If I have a county bred or county born and raised class at the fair, I really like that. I think it's important that whether it's these kids that are raising these steers or they're getting them from local producers or market heifers, I should say, I think it's important that they've got local support, whether it's at home or from local producers trying to help them with these projects. And so it's nice to see this kind of class come together. I've done some silly things in my life, but I don't think this is one where I'm going to go and contradict or mess myself up. Our champion in this class is going to be our champion market animal. The steer here at the back is going to be our champion. And for me, it's just a little closer if it's for a reserve or second place, however you want to look at it here, because they both got some things I like. They both got some things I want to change. I think I'm just a little bit better suited by the market heifer to be our reserve or second place here in the county bred class.
Congratulations to Canyon Boogie with the champion Lancaster born and raised market, and Tyler Boogie with the reserve champion. Entering the ring next is our senior beef showmanship. Just a reminder, our top senior beef showman will be competing with our top intermediate and junior showman for the top overall beef showman at the Lancaster County Super Fair Beef Show. Our top senior beef showman will also be competing in elite showmanship this Sunday, tomorrow, at 5 o'clock, with our top showmen also from swine, meat goats, dairy goats, and sheep. This is a round-robin competition, and new this year, we'd like to thank Jeff and Ann Johnson for sponsoring a trophy that will be awarded to our elite showman winner. So again, that's tomorrow at 5 o'clock in this arena. First call, intermediate beef showmanship. First call, intermediate beef showmanship. intermediate beef showmanship. Second call, intermediate beef showmanship. Final call, intermediate beef showmanship. Final call, intermediate beef showmanship.
Well, your senior level showmen are certainly setting the bar high for our younger exhibitors with our 10 that are out here doing a really nice job, and I think they're all worthy of a congratulations from those on your ringside for a job well done this morning. Well, the good thing about showmanship from my perspective is that there's a lot of personal preference that goes into it, and you can find something you like. The bad part of it is it's personal preference, and it makes it tough sometimes. As an evaluator and even as a showman, that sometimes you maybe just, whether it's not your day or you get caught in the wrong spot at the wrong time, there's so many variables that go into showmanship that folks think it's easy to come out here and evaluate this, and it's not. I think evaluating the cattle is a lot more straightforward and easy for a judge than showmanship is. In my mind, there's 4 or 5 of you out here that are doing a really nice job, that are in contention, and not to say that the others are not doing a good job, but when you get to a level like this with your your older exhibitors who should have some experience and have done this a time or two, then you've got to, it gets down to a few little things here and there to try to sort through. So I'm going to give everybody another quick look, and then I'll recognize a champion and a reserve before we move on to our intermediate division.
Congratulations to our senior beach showman. Our champion is Emberlyn Johnson. She will be in our elite showmanship and coming back for overall beach showman. And our reserve champion is Kaylin Keebler. Once we clear the ring, we'll have our intermediate beach showman. Again, that top intermediate beach showman will come back for our overall showman following the clover kid showmanship. If we have any clover kids that are in the audience today that would like to try their hand at showing a beef animal, make sure you find an exhibitor with an animal, preferably a lighter one, and come check in with us at the announcer stand and we will get you ready to go. So we'll go ahead and start our intermediate beef showmanship and do a first call for junior beef showmanship. First call, junior beef showmanship. Second call, junior beef showmanship. Second call, junior beef showmanship. Final call, junior beef showmanship. Final call, junior beef showmanship.
Well, here in our intermediates, we've got 4 really solid showmen. I would have no problem handing these 4 across and saying, here, go get it shown for me. And being pretty confident that they would do a nice job and get a calf exhibited well. And so, with only 4 of them, I think you all do some things that put you in the contention. And for me, again, the phrase personal preference comes to mind. I think as we're out here, there's one exhibitor that to me has just probably made the least mistakes, and not to say that anything that I've seen has been egregious or detrimental or anything, but if there was one that kind of kept things together the most of the group for a champion in my mind, and then between the other 3 that I'm still kind of racking through for reserve. But if you would here ringside, show these intermediates how proud of you are, and I'll show you a champion.
Congratulations to Canyon Boogie, your champion, intermediate showman. He'll come back for overall showman here. And Amelia Johnson is your reserve champion. Next in the ring, we have our junior beef showmanship. One last reminder that we have our clover kid showman after our junior beef showmanship. So if you have a clover kid that would like to show a beef animal, make sure you find the exhibitor with a beef animal and check in with us at the announcer stand. That will be here momentarily after our junior beef showmanship.
Well, both of these young men have got heifers that are giving them a little bit of trouble out here and don't really want to play show cow this morning. So I think for both of them, lift their spirits a little bit if we give them a nice hand and show them they're doing a nice job. In my experience, I've had several nieces and nephews that have shown, and I'm an extremely competitive person, but I've learned and been told over the years that at this age, the most important thing we got to do is make sure they have a good experience out here and enjoy it. Otherwise, we're going to lose them to something else. They're going to go play baseball. They're going to go do cheerleading. They're going to find some other activity. If we want to keep kids involved, we need to make sure they have a good experience out here and enjoy what they're doing. So I hope both of you have done that. I think there's one of you that just, from watching you guys show, I think one of you has a little more experience out here, just a touch more refined and knowing where to be and what to do with your calf. And so young man with our tan-colored heifer is going to be our champion showman. Young man with the baldy will be reserved.
Congratulations to our junior beef showman. Our champion is Micah Mueller, and our reserve champion is Caleb Wood. Next in the ring, we have our Clover Kid showmanship, and then we will bring back our champion senior, intermediate, and junior showman for our overall beef showman traveling trophy award. So Clover Kids, make sure you find an exhibitor and an animal. I know we've got at least one, and you'll be in the ring here in just a minute.
Well, that good experience we talk about starts right here. I love to see this many kids in a Clover Kids class. I think they're all doing a nice job. This young lady here with the red cat told me she was 7, and I guess she's got this whip. She doesn't need any help, and she's done a nice job of getting this heifer shown. And I think she's worked with this one at home a little bit. And then our young man here in the black shirt told me he's 2, and he reminds me down to a T of my little 2.5-year-old at home. Right down to the point of last night, walking the heifer on the halter, and he would get in front of her, and I'd have to tell him to scoot over to the side. I was like, you have to do that with him. And it's right down to a T. I think we've got a young kid that really likes cows, and it's going to be fun to watch kids like that grow up. Our young man here with a pretty sweet leprechaun shirt's having a good time. He's a little more shy than a couple of our others, but I think him and Grizzly are getting along pretty good and having a good time. And we've got an old pro right here. This young man, I asked him if he's done this before, and he said, you bet. It shows. You're doing a nice job getting her shown. And then down here on the far end, our young man, who I think he's a pig showman, but maybe we'll get him converted over here to wanting to show cattle more than pigs. And I think you've done this before too. You look like you've got some experience and doing a nice job. Thank goodness I don't have to pick a winner out of this group. I think we're all going to be winners here in the Clover Kids show. And so if you would, ringside, yeah, give them a nice applause.
Congratulations to our Clover Kids showmen. You all did a wonderful job. All right, next in the ring we have our overall showmen. So we invite back our champion senior, intermediate, and junior showmen to come back and compete for our traveling trophy. We'll do a first and second call for British cross feeder heifers. First and second call, British cross feeder heifers. Final call, British Cross feeder heifer. Final call, British Cross feeder heifer.
We have our 3 showmanship champions out here competing for an overall, and I really like when fairs do this, but it makes my job one notch harder. Showmanship's already challenging enough, and then you have to compare the skill levels and abilities of a child that's 10 to 12 years old versus one that's just probably about ready to go to college. And, you know, in my mind, they probably shouldn't be at the same level of showmen. But at the same time, as far as being good for your age group and being a good overall showman, I try to couple those things together in a situation like this and to try to make an overall selection. For me, I try not to early on say too much about my style and desires of a showman, because then I think that's kind of an advantage for the younger kids, or the later showman, rather, I should say, depending on which way you want to, which way you show the age group how to show. But, you know, for me, the least mistakes is the thing that usually stands out for me. As far as things that I look for, having them parked right, knowing your way around the ring, knowing where you need to be, knowing where they need to be. And if you can tie that all together in the best smooth, composed as they can. And so I think today there's one that does that really well. I think all 3 of you do it well. I should say that. I think there's one today that has done that through their time in their age group and then back out here again, has done a really nice job of that. And so I'm going to go congratulate our overall showman here at your Lancaster Super Fair today.
A big congratulations to Canyon Plugi, your overall beach showman at the 2020 County Fair Beach Show. He'll join several years of legacy on the beach show overall showman on that traveling trophy. And you can look back and see over the years who's won that here at the Lancaster County Fair. All right, next in the ring we have our British Cross feeder heifer class. We'll go ahead and do a first and second call for British Cross feeder steers. First and second call, British Cross feeder steers. You may have noticed that we've got lots of our exhibitors wearing our exhibitor t-shirts this year, that forest green with the wonderful design on it. We want to thank our t-shirt sponsors, Smart Chicken, Neogen, and Tractor Supply Company for sponsoring these t-shirts, so each of our exhibitors are able to wear them in the rain free of cost. Final call, British cross feeder steer. Final call, British cross feeder steer.
we kick off with these British feeder heifers. Two really nice prospects here. I think this is a pair of heifers that if you study them ringside and see them differently, I can certainly understand why. I'm going to lean towards the young man's roan heifer to lead off this class, and I think for me, it's because she just ties herself together for a little bit better than our heifer in second. I love the smoothness of this heifer. She's got some extension and eye appeal. The question that I think you can argue between these two is the roan one stout enough when you compare her to this solid red heifer in second? If you say yes to that, then like I do, I think this heifer has enough to her at this stage in the game to justify using her for the overall smoothness and the way she's constructed from that shoulder forward. I think she just carries that advantage and puts the most pieces together in what I like to see in a young breeding heifer. If you want to go all out on power and mass and with stoutness, this solid red heifer here in second absolutely does that. When you get behind her and you study how much punch there is in this heifer, you're certainly impressed. Where I pause on this one is her shoulder and her forewheel. At this stage in the game, I'm just a little concerned that going forward, there's going to be too much shoulder. We're going to get a little tight in that forewheel. But I know you've got to have a little bit of shoulder to get the power that this one has. I think there's some neat pieces there. I wish they just tied together a little better, especially in that front 1/3. Two really nice heifers here to lead off this group. Our young man's heifer in third. I like the length and extension this heifer has. I think she's put together very smoothly in her design. Just like to see a little more natural rib shape and maybe a little more power to this one from behind. In this study here, she gets a tick narrow. If you can take that rib cage and explode it out just a little bit, I think this is one that will have an even more interesting future. And then our young man with the Baldy cross heifer here in fourth, I asked him if this was a Hereford Angus cross heifer, and he said it was. I told him that's good. I like to see those. We raised a lot of those at home, and I think he's doing a nice job with her. She just needs more time. A heifer that, she's leaner in her condition. I like the length of body she has. I think this is one that just needs some more time to grow and develop so we can see what we've really got with her down the road. But nice job to all four of our exhibitors in this class.
Congratulations to Cameron Fiedler, our champion British feeder heifer, and Kaylin, our reserve champion. Next in the ring, we have our British cross feeder steers. And we'll go ahead and do a first and second call for British cross feeder bull. First and second call, British cross feeder bull. Just a quick reminder, you'll be seeing that some of our exhibitors receiving those red stall signs for their champion or reserve champion in certain classes. It's a great way to really display your hard work here at the Lancaster County Fair, and congratulations you received from the shows. Make sure those are at your pens and then cleaned off and turned back in before everyone leaves tomorrow evening. These are not to take home with you, but definitely to enjoy at your pens or your stalls here at the Lancaster County Super Fair. Final call, British cross feeder bull. Final call, British cross feeder bull.
pair of British cross feeder steers, and we're going to lead off with this purebred shorthorn calf, but I like quite a bit. I think he does some things that are pretty neat in terms of skeletal build is solid. There's enough mass and muscle with this one he put together as far as smoothness and just, so I like the levelness of top. It's a really neat calf. I think he's a January born is what she told me. I think as far as size and where he is in his maturity, he's about right for that, for a show calf. And young lady's done a nice job with this one. He's kind of intriguing to me. Our young man's shorthorn plus calf here is an April. And so unfortunately for you young men, the age difference in these calves is about the same number of days your calf's been alive. So it's really hard from you try to take that into consideration, and I like the build of this calf. I think as far as structure, he can move forward and make an intriguing steer down the road. Just doesn't quite put himself together kind of as attractive as the steer in front of him. So nice pair of steers, both of you doing a good job.
Congratulations to Emberlyn Johnson, your champion, British Cross Feeder Steer, and Connor Pace, your reserve. Next to the ring, we have our British Cross Feeder Bull class, and we'll go ahead and do a first and second call for exotic Cross Feeder heifer. First and second call, exotic Cross Feeder heifer. Final call, exotic cross feeder heifer. Final call, exotic cross feeder heifer.
Well, our gentleman here showing this bull calf prospect's been busy this summer. You've got a barn full. I appreciate the work that you put into it and bringing us a nice string today. Calf here, as far as structural build, I think he's built to be able to move forward and be a nice prospect. Could he be a thick stouter for a bull prospect? I think he probably could be, but it'd be intriguing to see how this one goes up and develops.
Congratulations to Connor Pace, your champion, British Feeder Bull. Next in the ring, we have our exotic cross feeder heifers. You are sitting in the audience today and thinking that you need a late morning or early lunch snack. We've got the Lancaster County Food Stand and Clover Cafe and the Great Star Pavilion in Axe Study Halls, formerly known as the Multi-Purpose and Lincoln Rooms. Proceeds from the 4-H food stand go to support our local Lancaster County 4-H program and things such as the horse judging contest, PACE, Nebraska State Fair, activity scholarships, and college and camp scholarships. You can find the menu in the front page of your program and go ahead and think about heading on over to get a snack and also support our local 4-H Lancaster County youth. We want to thank Acres for sponsoring our photo backdrops. All livestock, poultry, and rabbit exhibitors are encouraged to take advantage of these during the Super Fair. The backdrop is located on both the east and west ends of the pavilion, And while you're taking those pictures, we'd love to have you share those with us using the QR code on the front page of your program. If you upload those photos to the Lancaster County Super Fair, there's a chance that they could be published in different Lancaster County 4-H Extension publications. So use that QR code if you'd like to see your pictures shared. And remembering the 2024 Lancaster County Super Fair. First and second call, exotic cross feeder steer. First and second call, exotic cross feeder steer. Final call, exotic cross feeder steer. Final call, exotic cross feeder steer.
This class, to me, brings a challenge because I don't mean this disrespectfully in any way, but I'm not sure there's just the one that jumps out and grabs you and says, hey, I'm here to win today. I think they've all got some things I like, and they've all got some things that I change about them. And so as I study them and kind of, A, where they are today, but B, projecting forward what I think they could be as they get older, I come towards this young man's black female as the class winner. I think in terms of length of body and extension, I like that about this heifer. As far as structurally, I appreciate the way she gets out. I think at this stage, she's probably the leanest in this group, and down the road, I think that's going to come to her advantage. I don't necessarily like how her neck and top line tie together, but I think that's something that with time, and I think that's part of being green. But as far as the extension and smoothness and just gives me the look of a pretty cool breeding heifer down the road, she's the one I just gravitate towards as my preference here in this class. The Charolais cross here in second, a little younger female as far as being an April born. Appreciate the depth of body of this one. Ties herself together pretty smoothly. I think the difference for me for 2 and 3 is that when this heifer gets put together, she just balances up a bit nicer than our heifer in third. There's been a time or two I've looked at this one and wondered, could she go a little bit, reach a little bit farther with her hind leg? She certainly could. As far as just balancing up, I think she does that pretty well, and that's what kind of takes her to second for me. The young lady's red heifer here in third. I'm sorry, young lady, but the heifer's done you no favors out here. She doesn't want to do this today, and now that we're leaving, she gives you a look of a nice heifer that wants to get out and go. She just gets kind of jammed up and off on her hip, and a lot of that has been that she's just fought the heck out of you and really hasn't given herself the chance to get a good look. If we could see that and see how she balances up and get a good opportunity with her, we might have a different conversation for second. And then our young man's white heifer here in fourth, one that's so deep-bodied and so powerful at this stage. I guess my concern with this heifer is she going to be too quick to maturity? Is there going to be enough heifer there when we get her up as an older female? She's certainly cool and got some pieces about her, but I'd just like to see maybe a little more opportunity to grow in that one.
Congratulations to TJ Mueller, our champion exotic feeder heifer, and Hadley Reimers, our reserve champion. Next in the ring, we have our exotic cross feeder steer, and we'll go ahead and do it. A first and second call for exotic cross feeder bull. First and second call, exotic cross feeder bull. Also, just another reminder that we have our livestock judging contest tomorrow from noon to 2 o'clock. And we ask that exhibitors pre-register on the sign-up sheet in the livestock office. You need to have a team and an adult for that team of 4. Special awards are awarded to all top winners. This is just a great experience for exhibitors that may have livestock judged before or may be new to it. So you'll get some practice on judging beef animals, swine, sheep, and meat goats as well. Again, that's tomorrow from noon to 2. Please pre-register in the livestock office. One more side note on the livestock judging contest. The reasons are not a part of this contest. So, just a reminder, no reasons for this judging contest tomorrow from noon to 2. We'll do a final call for exotic cross feeder bull. Final call, exotic cross feeder bull.
This young lady's steer prospect, I think he's had enough in the field. He doesn't seem to want to cooperate one bit out here, but a steer that to me, there's definitely some shape and power to this one. I think, when he cooperates, but when you hit his top a minute ago and it went down, he comes together a whole lot different than what you get right here. And I understand you don't want to fight him in this situation, but something to keep in mind down the road as far as, that he gets up a little bit in the run and you knock that down, it changes the complexion of this steer quite a bit in my mind. It gives him, balances him up, makes him a little cooler made. But doing a nice job, keep up the good work. I will give this a purple ribbon steer here, so congratulations.
Congratulations to Amelia Johnson, our champion, exotic feeder steer. Next in the ring, we have our exotic cross feeder bull. We'll bring back all of our champions for our Supreme Champion Feeder Calf Drive following the exotic feeder bull currently in the ring. So again, we ask back all of our champion feeder calves for that Supreme Drive here in just a couple minutes.
Another single entry, but one that I think he is green at this stage in the game, but I think there's some promise to this one. I think I like the extension this calf has. He's pretty square when he's studying from behind, and there's a little bit of power to this one. It'll be fun to see how he goes up down the road and how it stacks up with the rest of our class winners here in the feeder calf show.
Congratulations to Connor Pates, our exotic feeder bull champion. At this time, all of our feeder calf champions will be entering the ring for our Supreme Champion Feeder Calf Drive. Once they enter the ring and we close the gates, we'll go ahead and do a first and second call for Angus heifer, January, February 23. First and second call once the feeder calves are in the ring for Angus heifers, January, February 23. Final call, Angus heifer, January, February 23. Final call, Angus heifer, January, February 23.
As we wrap up this feeder calf show, if you would, give our exhibitors here a nice round of applause, please. Back home, our nieces have a 3 feeder calves in the barn that they're getting ready for our local fair, and I come out here and I look at these, and there's sure several that I wish were in our barn as in place of what we were trying to exhibit there off the home farm, but I think there's some quality cattle in this group. It's certainly challenging because you've got male calves and females that are at different ages and stages of development. And so for me, I try to put all that information into my mind as far as which one is probably the best for what they are. I know that's kind of a weird statement, but when you try to think about where they are, their age, their breed type, their sex, which one of those is kind of the best representative of what they are. And so I'm trying to do that out here. There's definitely 3 I'm looking at pretty hard, and I think I only get to recognize one at this point. But as far as the 3 that are the most in contention in my mind, the young man shorthorn heifer at the front, the shorthorn steer right behind, and then I believe you told me it was a main Angus heifer here. Are the three that I'm looking at the hardest for our champion selection. Give them a quick peek and make a decision. If you would, give them another nice run.
Congratulations to Emberlyn Johnson with her British feeder steer as your champion or your supreme champion feeder calf. Next in the ring, we have our Angus heifers, January, February 23. We'll go ahead and do a first and second call for Angus heifers, March, April 23. Once we get the ring cleared here and our January, February in, we'll do a first and second call for Angus heifers, March, April 23. Just a reminder to our 4-H exhibitors and their families that are planning on showing animals at the Nebraska State Fair. Entries are due Saturday, August 10th at 8 p.m. All entries must be completed by the families online. If you have any questions, please make sure you check in with some 4-H staff to help you out. Again, those entries are done by the families and due Saturday, August 10th at 8 p.m. Final call, Angus heifer, March, April 23. Final call, Angus heifer, March, April 23.
Really nice representation to start the Angus breed, a heifer that I think what I appreciate the most about her, she's got a little something to her. My wife has kind of dragged me into paying a little more attention to the Angus breed, more so from the steep stop side than the show ring, but I've noticed that a lot of Angus heifers may profile beautifully, but there's just not a lot to them. But you don't say that about this heifer. She's got some substance. There's enough muscle to this one, some rib shape and volume. She's the freakiest neck thing you've ever seen. I don't think she is, but that's okay for me. This is a heifer that'll get out and travel. We'll compare her to our others for a champion Angus drive real short.
Next in the ring, we have our Angus heifers, March, April 23. We'll go ahead and bring back both of our purple Angus heifers, given that this one will be a purple. For our champion, Angus, breeding heifer after this round.
I think we only got 2 Angus heifers in the show, but you're sure going to make me work for it with the 2 that have come out here. This heifer, I think, is a very similar type to our older heifer from that first class. And when you get behind her, there's still some substance to this one. I think she balances up very nicely. They're going to be a nice pair to look at side by side and try to make a decision on here in just a minute.
We're bringing back our other Angus heifer for our champion Angus Dry. And we'll go ahead and do a first and a second call for Red Angus March, April 24. First and second call, Red Angus March and April 24.
Two very good representations of the Angus breed here. I think these are heifers that they could compete at a level higher than this one if you're certainly inclined to do so. With 2 like this, I don't do this often, but I'm going to talk about the 2 of them side by side here. I don't like to re-talk cattle a whole lot, but this is a time where I think maybe so you can see what here when I see in these 2 to start comparing and contrasting. If you wanted to flip what I do, I'm not going to argue with you. But there's things they both do very well and things that concern me just a touch about either heifer. Our young lady's April heifer, to me, has an advantage in terms of angularity. I think she's fresher at this stage of the game. A heifer that's got enough to her in terms of shape and dimension. What I've noticed that concerns me about this one is at times, and if you told me she doesn't do this at home, I probably believe you, but she's not comfortable putting her hind foot down today. She's popping that pasture when she tries to go, and that's just a little concerning when I see her out here. But a heifer that in terms of look and style, she's certainly got it. And I think she's a very nice heifer. I just wish she wasn't doing that here today. Our older heifer is one that in terms of depth of body and rib shape and a little more substance to her, I think she's certainly got that. She's not as attractive as the other heifer. And I think this is one, if we toned her back just a touch in terms of condition comparatively, I think that would make this heifer look even better. Would give her a little more of that style and appeal. And if she was just a little lighter from that perspective, I think she handles herself well in terms of movement. And she's both, again, two really nice heifers. I think it's tough. If you told me you wanted to do it the other way, I'm certainly going to say I can understand why. I think both ways would be justifiable here. I think for me, personally, I'm going to go with the one that I'm a little more comfortable with at the ground today with the young man's heifer, and then the young lady will be reserved.
Congratulations to Tyson Gaina, your champion Angus breeding heifer, and Kaylin Keebler, your reserve champion. Next in the ring, we have our single entry red Angus. And then we'll go ahead and do a first and second call for Charolais heifer January, February 23. First and second call, Charolais heifer January, February 23.
Only one red Angus heifer here at the fair today, but I think a nice representation this baby is for the breed. As far as the heifer that's got some shape and some volume through the middle 1/3, I like that about her. Kind of looks up pretty nice. A heifer that I like the way she's built from her hook back to her pin. I think she's got some future. I think she's a nice heifer here today. So we'll see how she stacks up with the other breeds later on in the show.
Congratulations to Candy and Pookie, your champion red Angus breeding heifer. Entering the ring next, we have our Charolais heifer January, February 23. And we'll go ahead and do a first and second call for Charolais heifer March, April 24. First and second call, Charolais heifer March, April 24. And just a reminder to all livestock exhibitors and their families that livestock will be released no earlier than 7 o'clock tomorrow evening, Sunday, August 4th. Again, all livestock are in place until 7, and then loadout can begin. For Sunday, August 4th.
Single entry Charolais yearling heifer that I think is just a she is a nice, solid representation of a good brood cow prospect down the road. She may not have some of the show ring extras that you want to see, but she covers the bases as far as what I think we need to see in a cow prospect, and that's of the utmost importance to me as far as she's good-footed. She's got some middle to her. I think she'll be able to handle herself when she gets out and works. Again, one that maybe from the shoulder forward not cool and attractive like some others, but as far as function, she does that really well, and that's very, very nice heifer.
Next in the ring, we're going to have our Charolais heifer March, April 24, and then we will invite back our January, February, that's just exiting, for our champion, Charolais breeding heifer drive.
March baby here for this young man, the Charolais heifer, that I think as she gets older, she might have some of those extras that you want to see from a show ring perspective in terms of some extra look and attractiveness from the, up to her head and neck. A heifer that today, I mean, she's green, she's a baby, she's about where she should be. I wonder if down the road if she's going to be a little bit piecey in the way that she comes together. She's just a bit tight right there behind her shoulder, but this one will be fun to watch her grow and develop and see how she turns out for me.
In the ring now, we have our champion Charolais drive, and we'll go ahead and do a first and second call for Mainten heifers, January, February 23. First and second call, Maine heifers, January, February 23.
Just a pair of Charolais, but I think two that in terms of time, maybe not quite the same as each other, and that's fine. We need cattle that look different from each other in order to continue to make these things better as we go forward. And I think we've got one with a really cool brood cow prospect coming up soon here in her career. We've got one that's got some potential with some of those show ring extras that we kind of look for with an upper level show calf. But the one thing I want to comment on that I've seen several times already, and it's a good thing, so bear with me, but I really appreciate watching your 4-H and FFA members that are so willing to help each other. And, you know, we're all competitors at heart. We're all here. Most of us are here. We didn't come to be second, and I know that. I've been that guy. But it's so refreshing to see some people that are willing to lend a helping hand to others and just to make this whole experience in the livestock showing that much more special. With that said, I like the older heifer to be champion, and then the baby will be reserved young man. I think you get to be the winner either way, so congratulations to you.
Congratulations to Blake Mueller with our champion and reserve champion, Charolais heifers. Next in the ring, we have our Mainten heifer, January, February 23, and we'll go ahead and do a first and second call for Maine heifer, March, April 23. First and second call, Maine heifer, March, April 23. Final call, Maine heifer, March, April 23. Final call, Maine heifer, March, April 23.
Single February yearling for this young man here in the Maine division, and one that we talked about from that shoulder forward, finding one that's cool and attractive, and she's definitely that. And she sticks that nose up and those ears forward. You can't help but like the look that she gives you. And then there's some length of body to this heifer, and definitely some substance. At times, does she get a little weaker top? I think she can, but this is a heifer that we'll see what our other single entry looks like, and we'll have us a contest for our champion man here this day.
In the ring now, we have our main entry heifer, March, April 23, and then TJ will come back with his January, February for our main entry drive.
March yearling here in this single entry that most of you ringside are going to get the same view I'm looking at right now. You see a heifer that balances up well and has some quality and some smoothness about her. But you get behind this one, she's got a little gas in the tank, and she ties that together nicely. Sometimes you get one that's heavy muscled and it just doesn't come together very smoothly, but I think she does that well. And it's going to be interesting to run these two out here together and look at them side by side.
In the ring now, we have our main entry drive. We'll go ahead and do a first and second call for shorthorn heifer, January, February 23. First and second call, shorthorn heifer, January, February 23.
As we did with the Angus a little earlier, I'm going to talk about these two side by side because I think it's a pair that's worthy of some consideration of what I see and what I think here. Our February heifer right in front of me is a young man's got. I think this is one that, in my opinion, she looks her best on the move. The heifer that gets around the ring and goes well. She's attractive. Certainly appreciate that about her. If you wanted to say she's a bit moderate for you, I won't argue that. For me, she's not. That doesn't go to her detriment in my mind. Where I get concerned is right there behind that shoulder when she just gets a little weaker tops at times. But a heifer that I think puts some cool things together, and a heifer that's got some intriguing pieces, just like our heifer that came out of the younger class, one that so smooth when you study her in terms of from this profile view, puts it all together so nicely and well balanced. But then you get behind her and you look at this female, and there's some gas and some mass to it. And I think that's something you don't put together every day in an ideal package. And she gets out here and goes in this little circle. If you watch her walk inside, I think she's a good free-moving female. I think for me, the two good heifers, I lean towards the young ladies to be our champion in this breed, and the young men will be reserved. But two very nice females.
Congratulations to Amelia Johnson, your champion man Jew, and TJ Mueller, your reserve champion. In the ring next is our shorthorn heifer, January-February 23 entry. We'll go ahead and do a first and second call for Simmental heifer, March-April 23. First and second call, Simmental heifer, March-April 23. Final call, Simmental heifer, March-April 23. Final call, Simmental heifer, March-April 23.
On my day job off the farm, I work with this breed of cattle quite a bit with the American Shorthorn Association, so it's refreshing and nice to get out here and see a good one. I really like to see a nice shorthorn female here. One that I think in terms of balance, she hits the nail on the head from a balance perspective from nose to tail. I love the volume and depth this heifer has. We'll see how she stacks up with all our other breed champions, but she'll be a good representation for the breed here in the final draw.
Congrats to Katie Gaina, your champion shorthorn heifer. Next in the ring, we have our Simmental heifer, March-April 23. And we'll go ahead and do a first and second call for AOB heifers, January-February 23. First and second call, AOB, January-February 23.
Single entry swimming call here for the young man. He's done a nice job with this heifer. I really like the freshness that he brings her to town with as far as her condition. The heifer looks feminine in her build. If I want to pick on her, I'd like to, take that middle portion of her flank and just drop her down, make her a little more soggy-bodied heifer. But solid female. Congratulations to you, my young man.
Congratulations to John Marshall, your champion Simmental. We are moving on to our all the breeds section of our breeding program. So we'll go ahead and say AOB, January-February 23 is in the ring next. We'll go ahead and do a first and second call for AOB, September-October 23. Once we start our January, February in the ring. Final call, AOB heifer, September, October 23. Final call, AOB, September, October 23.
January yearling P heifer here that this young lady's brought to her. She's brought us several nice ones and doing a nice job at home, getting these things ready to come to the fair. Has done a nice job out here in the showroom today, so I appreciate that, and congratulations on your hard work. We talk about the heifer here as one that, from a length of body standpoint, I think she might excel over anything we've seen so far today in this heifer show. Just extra length and spine and quality about that heifer. You know, being that little longer heifer, it might take away from how she looks through the middle 1/3 of her body, but I think this is a solid female here in our AOB class to represent the keys in this AOB division.
In the ring now, we have our AOB September, October 23. We'll go ahead and do a first and second call for AOB November, December 23. First and second call, AOB November, December 23.
Early fall born Charolais composite heifer here for the young man. That another one in terms of length of body and extension, you have to like that about her. I think she certainly got that going for her. One that, you know, when she wants to cooperate, gives you a nice lift here from the side. Is she perfect about how her hip and her tail head all kind of come together? I think we could make that a little better if we're going to get picky. But a nice heifer, and we'll see how she stacks up with the rest of our AOBs here in just a bit.
Entering the ring next is our AOB November, December 23. Once he gets in the ring, we'll go ahead and do an AOB First and second call for AOB March, April 24. First and second call AOB March, April 24.
Late fall composite Charolais heifer here that does not want to cooperate, which is a shame, because once she gets herself put together, she's pretty cool looking from the side profile. I think there's some real rib shape and body to this one that I appreciate. A heifer that I think, poor girl doesn't want to be a show cow today, beating this young man up, but maybe she'll find it in her to pull it together for the champion drive here in a little bit and give herself a fair shot.
In the ring next is our AOB March, April 24. And then we will invite back all of our purples from the Oliver Breed section of our breeding heifer program for our champion and reserve Oliver Breed breeding heifer.
Shorthorn Plus calf here to round out our AOBs. One that I think for Plus has got some foot to her and a stout hip on this one. She pulls herself together pretty nicely. I think this is a neat heifer that's got some power. One that we'll compare with our other AOBs. It's going to be an interesting drive here in a little bit for overall the AOBs. Wow.
Entering the ring now, we have our AOB drive. We will go ahead and do a first and second call for British Commercial January, February 23. First and second call, British Commercial January, February 23. call, British Commercial, January, February 23. Final call, British Commercial, January, February 23.
And we've got a few more AOB heifers here that once we get them together, I think it's a solid group. Varying breed types and kinds, it can certainly make for a challenge. If you walk up to this lineup, you definitely say maybe they don't fit together as a type, but I think there's quality pieces of all of them that you like. There's two for me that kind of rise to the top, and I'll go show you which ones they are.
Congratulations to Kaylee Keebler, your champion, AOB, with her January, February 23. And Micah Mueller, your reserve champion, with his November, December 23. They will come back for a Capri Champion Breeding Heifer Drive. That's at the conclusion of our breeding show. We're moving on to British Commercial, January, February 23. And once he's in the ring, we'll go ahead and do a first and second call for Exotic Commercial, March, April 23. First and second call, Exotic Commercial, March, April 23. So these two heifers that are here in the ring, we've actually got them from separate classes. The heifer here that on my left is a British Commercial heifer. And I think when you study this female, she just hits you like a good, honest breed cat. Does she blow you away from any one aspect? Maybe not, but she's deep bodied, she's got enough muscle, she's solid footed, she's well balanced. Could she be a little neater if you want to push it from a showroom perspective? I think she could, but
I wouldn't mind having young females like this at home to try to breed off of, and I think she'll do a nice job down the road. And then this heifer right here is an exotic commercial female that, in my mind, in terms of stoutness, she's certainly not. This heifer's got a little more punch to her. It's got some length, maybe a little neater in terms of design. But a heifer that'll be in. There are some more exotic commercial heifers, so we'll see how she stacks up against those. But I think out here, you just study that individual for what she is, a stout, quality female.
Congratulations to John Barger, your champion British commercial. And TJ will be coming back with our other exotic commercials. Next in the ring, we have our exotic commercial, May-June 23. In the ring right now, we have our exotic commercial, May-June 23. We'll go ahead and do a first and second call for exotic commercial, January-February 24. First and second call, exotic commercial, January-February 24.
Got ourselves situated and figured out here, and this is a class of two. These heifers are May-June competing against each other. The heifer with a little bit of a red tint is going to be our class winner. Heifer that I think just puts it together a little more smoothly in her design. I love this heifer in terms of her squareness of hip, and just she comes together with eye appeal really nicely. She gives up a little bit in terms of raw power to the second place heifer, but if you think she's stout enough at this stage of the game, it's hard to ignore the look she gives you. I think there's enough to that one for me to feel comfortable placing her at the top. That's not to take away from this young man's heifer in second, and I think she's really nice. There's some pieces of this one that you like better than our class winner. The mass and raw power she's got is one of those. The angle I got right here, you like her a lot. She's maybe not quite as comfortable on her hind feet as she goes around today, but she's just a bit smoother on her design would make this one very intriguing. So a very nice pair. Enough differences you could talk about whichever one you like.
In the ring now, we have our exotic commercial January, February 24, and we'll bring back our purples from the previous class to find our champion and reserve exotic commercial breeding heifer.
Really a cool heifer here, whether it's the color pattern or the design or the shape, whatever you want to talk about with this one. She's got some cool pieces to her. When she's set on the profile, you have to like that look. But when you study her, there's some real rib there. And she's not going to overpower you in terms of muscle shape, but she's sure got plenty. I like the squareness of build. I think when she doesn't want to fight the halter, she gets out and travels pretty good. We'll compare her to our others and see where she lands with our overall exotic commercial.
In the ring now will be our exotic commercial drive. And then we invite back all of our champion breeding heifers for our Supreme Champion Breeding Heifer Drive. So again, we need all of our champions from the previous breeding heifer classes to come back for our Supreme Champion Breeding Heifer Drive. We'll be picking the top 5 from that drive, so we'll begin staging beside the ring.
Three really nice heifers here from our exotic commercial class. I think all 3 of them do some things well. All 3 of them do some things that are the best of this group, and I think you could probably tweak on all 3 of them. But there's one that kind of grabbed my attention early on, and it's hard to gravitate away from one that I think is pretty solid. And like I said, all 3 of these are nice heifers, but this baby calf grabbed my attention pretty early. She'll be our champion in this group, and then our May June heifer will be reserved.
Congratulations to Hadley Reimers, your champion exotic commercial, and Emberlyn Johnson, your reserve champion. Again, all of our champions from the previous breeding heifer classes will be entering the ring now for our Supreme Champion Breeding Heifer Drive. We will be selecting the top 5 out of those heifers. While we are getting that stage, we just want to say a huge thank you to our beef superintendent, Greg Crawford. You've probably seen him in the ring 20 years or so. Greg, don't come after me for saying that. But he's done a great job for making sure that our exhibitors are ready for fair every year and coordinating the show. So make sure if you see him around, tell him thank you. And we also want to thank Waverly FFA for doing a wonderful job twisting tails and handing out banners and being great volunteers and showing that FFA and 4-H spirit here at the Beef Show. We're also going to ask for reserve champions for those different breeding heifer classes to also come ringside for our Supreme Champion Breeding Heifer Drive. So again, we need champions and reserves from each of our breeding heifer classes. Again, in the ring right now, we have our Supreme Champion Breeding Heifer Drive. Reserves, make sure you are on deck to fill in if the champion is selected.
Well, folks, this is the big moment a lot of you have been waiting for. Before we get too far into this, I hope that those of you ringside will once again give these exhibitors and all our others a nice round of applause. It's getting plenty warm, so I'm not going to get long-winded today, but I remember coming over here last year, how impressed I was with the quality of this heifer show. I learned afterwards you had several state and national level competitive females standing in this ring at this point in the day, and I believe it, and I understand why, and I think the quality that you've got here in this county, if I were 16 again trying to show a heifer, I don't know that I'd want to live here, because this is tough. There's several really good ones here in our reserves, and it's a testament to you guys that are raising these things, working with these things every day, and also the support system, whether it's through Extension or your beef superintendent Greg over here. It takes a lot of people to make a successful county fair go, and I think you guys are doing an excellent job of that here. I appreciate the opportunity to come back. You usually have done an okay job if you get asked to come back to the same place 2 years in a row. So I appreciate the faith in allowing me to come back and be a part of this show yet again. I've said it multiple times, but there's several out here depending on what you want to emphasize or what comes to the top of your priority list of heifers that you can gravitate towards and say, I think this one is the best. And if you can defend that position, I'm certainly okay with that thought process. But we don't all need to go pick the same one. We need some variation because we have to have a little variation to keep making these things better as we go forward. So there's several that I'm still kind of looking at the contention, trying to put them in order for a top 5. But I appreciate the opportunity once again. Those of you exhibitors, once you get your work done and get this show over with, go have some fun. Go enjoy the rest of the fair. The time that you get to spend with your fellow exhibitors is special. Like I said earlier, we all line up and we like to compete, not as competitive as the next guy. But you never know that the person you are competing in showmanship against might be the best man at your wedding. It might be the person across from you at your wedding. You just never know. There might be your lifelong partner in your ventures if you stay in this business. And so cherish those relationships, but get out of the barn and have a little bit of fun this afternoon and this evening. Again, appreciate the opportunity. God bless. I'll go show you a top 5.
Congratulations to Amelia Johnson with her Mainten as your overall first place Supreme Champion breeding heifer. We'll be filling in here with TJ Mueller. And moving on to our second. Congratulations to Canadiana with a shorthorn heifer for your second place Supreme Champion breeding heifer. Third place Supreme Champion Breeding Heifer goes to Hadley Reimers out of the Exotic Commercial class. Filling in with Emberlyn Johnson, reserve champion from that class. Fourth place goes to Tyson Gaina out of the Angus class. Caitlin Keebler is coming in with her Angus Reserve Champion. And your fifth place Supreme Champion Breeding Heifer goes to TJ Mueller out of the Mainten class. Congratulations to all of our breeding heifers at the 2024 Beef Show. Once we clear the ring, we'll go ahead and move on to our Lancaster County born and raised breeding portion of our program. So again, we'll clear the ring, and if you are in this class, please make your way to the arena. Lancaster County born and raised breeding is next. In the ring right now is our Lancaster County born and raised breeding class. We'll go ahead and do a first and second call for cow calf age. First and second call, cow calf age.
Well, like I said with the market show, it's really cool to me to see this many heifers come back to compete in the county born and raised class. That's a testament to those of you as producers here local and the families that are raising and working with these things to have this many come back. And it's not a case of I look at it and we've got 3 of the top 5 heifers and 2 others that were in close contention standing out here. So that's hats off to those of you that are a part of this. You may have disagreed with how I did it the first time, but if we're going to do it with the county class, we've got heifers here that have placed really well. I'm going to keep them in the same order as far as the champion and reserve. So young lady, you're going to be our champion. And then our spotted little calf down by the gate is going to be the reserve.
Congratulations to Amelia, your champion, Lancaster born and raised breeding, and reserve champion goes to Hallie Reimers. Next in the ring is our cow-calf age. And once they get in here, we'll go ahead and do a first and second call of club or chapter group. At the conclusion of the club or chapter group, we'll announce the performance rate of gain results. And that will do it for our 2024 Lancaster County Beef Show. So again, next in the ring is our cow-calf age. One last reminder, if any of you 4-H exhibitors and your families are planning on showing at the Nebraska State Fair coming up at the end of the month, entries are due Saturday, August 10th at 8 p.m. These entries are done by the families online. If you have any questions, please direct those to 4-H staff as needed. But again, those state fair entries are done by the family and are due Saturday, August 10th at 8 p.m.
Single entry class here. Nice pair. I think my man told me this is a 2021 model cow. And you know, if our goal is producers and breeders of livestock, is try to make that next generation better, and I think she's doing that with this black bull calf aside. Solid pair. Udder looks like you got a solid enough udder under her. It looks like she's working pretty hard. So congratulations to you. I don't envy trying to bring the cow calf back to the front.
Congratulations to Connor Pace with our champion cow-calf age pair. Next in the ring is our club or chapter group. And we've got some performance data results, and that'll be it. One last reminder as well, if you are interested in trying out our livestock vision contest, that is tomorrow from noon to 2. And we ask that you please pre-register and sign up in the livestock office with your team of 4 and an adult. This can be for first-timers and veteran livestock vendors as well. You'll get to try your hand at judging beef, swine, sheep, and meat goats. There will be no reasons. Special awards will be awarded to all top winners. Again, that's tomorrow from noon to 2. Make sure you sign up in the livestock office.
Single entry here in the group class, 3 nice calves that are all competitive in their respective groups. Come together as kind of a uniform package as well as you can for a show like this, and a really solid trio of heifers and really solid trio of kids that have been doing a good job all day. So congratulations to y'all on that.
Congratulations to Happy Go Lucky, our champion club or chapter group. All right, we'll take a look at the performance data here and announce its results momentarily. All right, we have the results for our performance data rate of gain here. No need to bring your animal up to the ring. For blues, for our market steers, we'll start with our purples. For our purple market steer performance data, we got Canyon Plugi and Lily Chevalier. Blues are Lily Chevalier and Connor Pace, ×3. For our beef market heifer performance data, we have a blue, and that goes to Kyler Plugi. Please make sure you make your way to the announcer's stand for your premium and your ribbon. Again, thank you all exhibitors and your families for all the hard work that you do to make sure this is a successful and enjoyable 2024 Lancaster County Beef Show. Thank you very much and enjoy the rest of your fair.
And that concludes the 4-H FFA Beef Show. Thank you for watching.